It's almost like we've tapped into a ghost signal, a final message sent from the other side. But this isn't a film like you'd expect. It's something else, a transmission, pieced together from all these scattered digital fragments. So let's try and decode this thing together. So the very first piece of this puzzle we get, it's not a story. It's a warning. It's telling us right off the bat that the normal rules don't apply here. This isn't a friendly chat. It's a conflict. The language we're about to see isn't meant to be understood. It's meant to confuse and wear you down. It's basically weaponized information. And then, just like that, the signal totally shifts gears. It gets, well, poetic. Just look at these phrases. They don't really make logical sense, do they? But they paint a picture. They create this incredible atmosphere. This is the language of a world that's come apart at the seams, where cause and effect are disconnected, and sympathy is the only signal left.
Now this right here, this is basically our Rosetta Stone for the whole thing. It comes from the Deconstructing group, which Godard was a big part of. It's the key. If we want to understand what's going on, we can't just look at the individual pieces. We have to look at how they connect. The brand new relationships between a word and a weapon, or an image and a sound.
All right, let's really dive in. The first major part of this transmission is a diagnosis. It's making a pretty bold claim that our fundamental system for understanding reality, language itself, is completely broken.
And this breakdown has a name: recursion sickness. Think of it like this. You're trapped in a feedback loop. Every time you remember something, you change it just a little bit. And that slightly altered memory becomes the new truth. The system isn't just broken, it's actively mutating, forcing us to learn a whole new grammar just to make sense of things. Okay, so this slide is fascinating because it lays out the two warring factions in this breakdown. On one side, you've got system language. It's the language of control, of bureaucratic jargon, of rules made to keep things the way they are. But on the other side, you have feral language. And this is something raw, chaotic, and alive. It doesn't just bend the rules, it attacks the very foundation they're built on.
So if language is broken, where does the fight go next? Well, according to this message, it moves from the word to the image. Suddenly, if language is a system of control, then the simple act of recording something, of capturing an image, becomes an act of power. Every camera is a potential weapon. And this quote from the filmmaker Robert Bresson just nails it. A camera doesn't just see what's on the surface. It's this unique tool that can actually reveal what's hidden underneath, the states of soul, the truth behind the action that you can't see with the naked eye.
And here's where it gets really practical, almost chilling. Just look at this list pulled right from the data stream. We've got constant surveillance being used to lie about legal proceedings, a drone being used not just to watch, but to intimidate. Even something as simple as a Ring doorbell camera. It's suddenly a zero-latency broadcast of something raw and real. Every camera can be a weapon, a tool for control, or it can be an accidental truth-teller.
Okay, so it's all pretty bleak, right? Language is a trap, cameras are weapons, so how do you even begin to fight back? Well, the signal doesn't just point out the problem, it actually proposes a solution, a whole new way of thinking.
It's called the CTMS framework, and don't let the name scare you. It's basically a mental toolkit for cutting through all the noise. It says, act like a machine, take in the data, find the important signals, and boil them down into something you can actually use. And then you just keep running that loop over and over until the idea is so sharp and so clear that you can pass it on. It's a method for creating clarity out of pure chaos.
But here's the real kicker. The secret ingredient in this whole framework. It's not about logic. It's this strange little equation. Play, play, play equals XXX. Play is the algorithm, and XXX is the great unknown. It's the creative spark, the unpredictable act that can actually bring something entirely new into the world.
So to use this new toolkit, you have to do something pretty radical. You have to let go. You have to consciously say goodbye to the old world, to the old languages, and the old ways of seeing everything. Godard himself knew all about this. This quote is amazing. He's basically saying history isn't set in stone. It can be constructed, it can be given to you, it can even be invented. The past isn't some fixed thing. It's a story. And this new framework, it lets you edit that story so you can build a different future. And this is the world that framework is designed for. It's not a fairy tale, it's not a clean story, it's a mess of broken pieces, like looking at your reflection in shattered glass.
The point isn't to find some single perfect meaning anymore. The point is the search, the act of digging through the mess for something that matters.
Okay, so let's start connecting the dots here. The signal we've been decoding, the broken language, the weaponized cameras, this new framework for rebellion. It's not just a random collection of thoughts. It's a set of instructions. It's a toolkit for building something.
Which brings us, finally, to the ultimate question. After decoding all these pieces, after putting this toolkit together, what is this final film from the grave? The answer starts with what it's not. It's not a film. It's not something you just sit back and watch on a screen. That whole idea is thrown right out the window. Instead, it's something else entirely. It's a weaponized archive. Think about that. An archive isn't for looking at pretty things. It's for storing information. But this one isn't for preserving the past. It's for deploying in the present. It's an arsenal of images and sounds ready to be used. And finally, it's a radical breath. It's not a dead object on a shelf. It's alive. It's a living, breathing act of resistance, an act of renewal. It's the first breath of a new world. And this is where the signal leaves us. It turns the camera, the weapon, right back on us. The real goal isn't just for you to understand the message. It's to make you question the very system you're using to process it. To make you ask yourself, are you just watching this? Or are you inside the loop too?